In this video, I am not holding back. I am here with the sole purpose to be your voice of reason to help you decide if you should take a Sandals or Beaches vacation. You work really hard for your money, vacations are important, and travel enriches our lives. And I want you to have a really good picture of what a Sandals/Beaches vacation is before you go on one. Because for some people, they're the best vacations ever. And for other people, you go on one and you never come back. When you look up reviews of Sandals and Beaches resorts, they're either 100%, I loved it, this is the best thing ever, I come here every single year, there are a lot of repeat visitors at Sandals, or you see the flip side, 1 star, staff was rude, food was disgusting, I hated it, bad beach, bad location, stay somewhere cheaper, overpriced. And so I'm just here to be someone in the middle. I have made a pros and cons list. I have a lot to say about the Sandals brand that I couldn't say in my Bahamas video and my Negril video because, there's only so much time. And so this is my time to just really tell you my honest to God thoughts on Sandals. So what even is Sandals? Well, you probably know it's an all-inclusive. It's like the OG all-inclusive in the Caribbean. It was featured in The Office. Michael takes Jan there. They have an amazing time in Jamaica.
You would like to come to Jamaica with me. There's this resort called Sandals.
The other thing about Sandals, it is adults only. I think you need to be at least 18 to go, and it's also focused on couples. You can go if you're single. They will take your money. You'll still have a great time. But just know that 98% of people at a Sandals resort are with their spouse. There's a lot of honeymooners. There's a lot of older couples, but there's a lot of younger couples like me as well. And then Beaches is their family version of Sandals. Right now, there are only 2 Beaches locations. There is a massive one in Turks and Caicos. I haven't been to it, but I've heard a lot about it. And then there is Beaches Negril, where I went in December, and that's in Jamaica. And it's big, but it's not as massive. So there are many Sandals locations in the Caribbean and just 2 Beaches locations. And for the sake of me not saying Sandals Beaches a million times, I'm just going to say Sandals. But just know that Beaches is the family friendly and Sandals is the adults only. For pros, Sandals is a true vacation. I mean, if you haven't been to an all-inclusive, that is what it is. But Sandals takes it a bit further because it's not just alcohol and food included, it is activities and it is picking you up from the airport and dropping you off. When you book a Sandals vacation, you don't have to think about anything else. If you're in a season of life where you're just so freaking burnt out and you and your partner just really want to go somewhere, relax, you don't want to think about anything. Planning a trip sounds awful. Then Sandals is for you. The staff at a Sandals understand this. They don't give you anything to think about. You basically get to be a toddler for as long as you're there. Anything you want, here you go. You have it. You want 5 beers? Here you go. Have it. You want to lay by the pool and do absolutely nothing? That's fine. Have Italian food. Have 4 dinners. Do whatever you want. So if you are stressed TF out, take a Sandals vacation. Personally, I love planning trips. I mean, I have a whole travel YouTube channel, but I will say, if you watch my South Korea and Philippines videos, I completely overpacked those itineraries. I had never been to those countries before, and so I wanted to see everything I could in a very short amount of time, and I have regrets about that. And there is a big difference between traveling and taking a trip and vacation. And both are very valid, and Sandals is purely a vacation. If you want to be relaxed, eat good food, and drink a cocktail on the beach, look no further. Now let's jump to a con. Sandals vacations are pricey. There is no way about that. Our Sandals Royal Bahamian vacation was a special treat. I had a very big feeling I was getting engaged there, and I was right. And yeah, I think they are not a cheap vacation by any means. So that's just something to note, and also probably why you're watching this video. In the all-inclusive universe, I would say Sandals is one of the most expensive. And Sandals is not the only all-inclusive vacation that you can take. There's couples, there's some really inexpensive ones in the Dominican Republic. We went to a really nice, much more affordable one in Cancun. That is just something to note, that this is going to be a pricey vacation. With that said, Sandals vacations get cheaper the more you take. They are very smart. Sandals is a very smart business. Once you're there, they will try very hard to get you to book your next vacation, and they will give you incredible deals. When we went to Sandals Royal Bahamian, which was both of our first Sandals experiences, we met all these couples who have been on like 10 plus Sandals vacations, and they're like, we love it. This is something we look forward to all year. And there's all these deals. So when you're there, and this is kind of a con for me, they will put a note under your door and they'll just straight up come up to you and be like, have you booked your next vacation? Are you having a good time? We can offer you a deal. So here's what they do. If you are there and willing to book in person, they will give you a pretty significant discount on your next vacation. And if you're like, well, I don't know when my next vacation is, because most people are not planning a vacation a year or two in advance, they'll say, that's fine, put down a deposit, and as long as you reschedule your vacation within 2 months of the reservation you make, that is completely fine. On top of that, it was Dan's birthday month, so they gave us a birthday month discount. And I think we signed up for the app or something. I mean, they will throw a lot of discounts at you to get you to book the next vacation. But you can't just cancel that vacation because you put down a non-refundable deposit. I think if you really enjoy your Sandals vacation and you do foresee yourself going on another one, it is worth it to go ahead and book it. It ended up saving us close to $1,000 on our Beaches Negril trip. And that's what's really nice about it. As promised, they did let us change the reservation. You can change the time of year, the length, the location. You can change it to a beaches vacation. Another pro for me is the food. I live in New York City, and so I am surrounded by really, really good food. And I personally really enjoy the food. The pizza is not that good, I will say that much, but all the other food, in my opinion, is pretty bomb. I don't even like sushi, and we had like 4 rounds of sushi. And I thought the Peruvian food at Beaches Negril was phenomenal as well. You are in the Caribbean, so I would say definitely get seafood, definitely try the Caribbean food. Their desserts are good. They'll have a steakhouse. That's good. I'm not a huge steak person, but that was nice. There's lobster. I think a thing to note is it is all you can eat, but they don't want to be wasteful, which I really respect. And so the portions are a bit small. So sometimes I'm like a little bit embarrassed because like I've been scuba diving all day and then swimming and then tanning, and then I get to lunch and they serve me this teeny tiny piece of fish and like this much rice. And so there was one lunch that both of us got 2 entrees, and I feel like the waitress was like side-eyeing us, and we're like, this portion is tiny. This is not a lunch portion.
What is this? A center for ants?
There are a few buffets, but most of it is a la carte. And so if what you get is not big enough, just order again. Okay, let's move on to a con. If you are looking for a local experience to have kind of a cultural moment, I don't know how else to say it, Sandals is probably not for you. The vibe at Sandals is nice, relaxing, but it can be a little generic. I wouldn't say corporate, but it is a little bit generic. I felt like, especially at Beaches Negril, I wanted a little Jamaican flavor, I guess, in my room. Like my room to me felt like a hotel room that could have been anywhere. And just like decorating aside, you know, you're not going to feel like you've really experienced that country. If you go to Beaches Negril in Jamaica, you know, you're really just staying at that resort. They don't want you to leave. They want you to stay right there and just do everything Beaches Negril. And so you're not going to really feel like you experienced Jamaica in a meaningful way, like you would if you rented a car, stayed at local hotels. So that's what I'll say. What we ended up doing is we actually walked down the beach a little bit because there is a nice long beach, 7 Miles Beach. And we hired a local to take us to Rick's Cafe. So that was our one local experience. But if you're all about traveling and experiencing new cultures and trying local cuisine and supporting local artists and local hotels, then a Sandals vacation is not for you. And there's absolutely a time and place for that. And that is probably the biggest reason why I don't foresee myself going on a ton of sandals vacations, because I really enjoy that. I really enjoy having authentic local experiences. All right, let's go back to the pros. The included activities. Oh my gosh. If you watch my Sandals Royal Bahamian video, you will know that me and my fiance scuba dived for 5 days in a row. The scuba diving in the Bahamas is amazing, like truly beautiful. We saw turtles, reef sharks, shipwrecks. We saw a James Bond set that's underwater. Like, it was magical, amazing. And scuba diving is really expensive. It is a very expensive hobby. My fiance is a very active person. He is a black diamond skier. He does kite surfing. I'm never going to learn how to kite surf. That is so difficult and dangerous. I'm just not a very sporty person. So scuba diving is like the one activity that's kind of active that we can really enjoy together. It's just something that's so like special to us. We got certified in Thailand together. It was something that we kind of did on a whim and ended up being like the best thing we've ever done. And at all Sandals resorts, scuba diving is included. That is a huge value with 2 caveats. Weather permitting, obviously you can only scuba dive if it's safe. If it's like thundering, probably not. If there's a hurricane coming in, probably not. Not mad at the logic of that. And the other thing is you have to be a certified diver. I would not recommend getting your scuba certification at Sandals. It's too expensive. You should be there to relax. If you are not scuba certified and you're thinking about doing it, I would say get certified in Cancun, lots of different places in Mexico, or do what I did and go all the way to Thailand and get certified there. You could also get certified in Belize. The scuba diving in Belize is absolutely beautiful. These are just a few examples of places I've dived and that I know are relatively affordable to get your scuba certification. The dive masters at Sandals were all really nice, really informative. I will say there are a limited number of spots because the scuba diving is so good in the Bahamas. You need to put your name down for every single day. So the first day we got there, we were like, hi, we want to scuba dive every single day. Sign us up. And they were like, that's great. Tomorrow's looking a little full. And so the first day, we almost didn't get on the boat because they do only have so much equipment and so many staff. And knowing Sandals, if it does become a big problem, they would probably get some more boats, get some more staff, figure it out. The other activity they have that really surprised me in Jamaica is they have water skiing. They had a boat going out all day and kids and adults were wakeboarding, slaloming, water skiing, and I just couldn't believe that was included. I thought that was a great value too. They also had a glass bottom boat at Beaches Negril. That was really nice because we went with our godson who was 3, almost 4 at the time. And he was a little bit too little for some of the activities. You know, I don't have kids, so I didn't think of the fact that if he can't swim, he can't snorkel. I was like, well, just strap him to a life jacket. And his parents were like, but he doesn't know how to use goggles and a snorkel thing. And I was like, oh yeah, this is like childless me, not thinking that a 3-year-old can't snorkel yet. So that is something to note for the beaches. Would be a good vacation to take if your kids are like 5 years old and above. If they are not confident swimmers and if they can't snorkel, then you're not going to get as much value out of the vacation. There is a kiddie pool and water slides and like a Sesame Street entertainment. So there were some things that he could do and enjoy, but I think at 3 years old, he would have enjoyed a vacation in Jamaica at almost any hotel that has beach access and a pool. Back to the cons, I've already said it, but the pressure to book your next vacation, it's kind of like, can you leave me alone for a minute? I'm like currently on this expensive vacation. I want to think about that at a later date. And also they can be pretty pushy to get your photos done. I think how their model works is like technically the photo shoot is free, but you have to agree to get a certain number of photos, and the photos are very expensive. So our engagement photos, we got only 30 photos, unretouched, $450. That is criminal. He took our photos for max 15 minutes. And he was very nice, and I know he doesn't set the prices. It's Sandals. Sandals, you are charging too much for family photos. I really think people have already spent so much money to be there, and I'm not saying make them complimentary, but $450 for 30 photos is just too much. I'm not sure if this is a pro or a con, but there's definitely a pretty heavy drinking culture at Sandals. I mean, it's an all-inclusive with all you can drink. And so the bartenders will often be giving you shots without you even asking for them because they just want you to unwind, have fun, feel like you're really getting your value. And so I myself am into drinking. I can admit that. Me and my fiance definitely like our cocktails and wine and beer. But if you're not a big drinker, I don't know if you should go to Sandals purely because I don't know that you'll be getting your money's worth. I mean, you definitely could go and you're going to get value if you're a big scuba diver or if, you eat a lot, if you're a big foodie. It's just something to note that if you don't plan to drink a lot or if you don't drink at all, you're definitely going to miss out on that value. Because the price tag of Sandals is so expensive, if you both don't drink and don't scuba dive, I just think it's a little expensive for what it is. And there are many nice hotels in the Caribbean. I've been rambling for so long, so let me sort of summarize and leave you with some final thoughts. A Sandals vacation is not for everyone, but many people who go on a Sandals vacation enjoy it more than they think they're going to and end up booking another one and have an even better time on that one. There's a reason why so many people are on their 10th, 12th, 20th Sandals vacation. It's a true vacation. The food, in my opinion, is really good. The drinks are really good. And if you're a scuba diver, the value is there. You can watch my Sandals Royal Bahamian video where we dive for 5 days in a row. Do the math and figure out, does the price of this vacation make sense? And if you are already okay, yes, I think I'm going to take a Sandals vacation, consider booking it through me. It is at no cost to you. It is at no extra cost to you. I can help you decide what time of year to go, which location to go, or maybe you've decided, you know what, I actually don't think a Sandals vacation is right for me. I think I want to go somewhere else. I can also help you book that and figure out what is going to be the most relaxing, best possible vacation for you. I've been a travel advisor for the last 6-ish months. I've been enjoying it a lot. My thought was, I'm already putting so much effort into my travel channel. What are some ways that I can monetize? And so I got certified. I'm going to leave all my details down below. Again, I'm not trying to sell you on a Sandals vacation. I want you to only go if you truly want to. But if you're already yes, I'm going on a Sandals vacation and I don't have a travel advisor and I want this girl to have my commission, I will take the commission. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I know this was a much chattier video than I've ever put out before. I feel like I'm back to my podcast roots. I hope I have helped you make a decision whether or not a Sandals Beaches vacation is right for you. Feel free to subscribe and I will see you again soon.